mostly cloudy in the Pacific Northwest, and a 1-0 scoreline. USC leads here in set number 1. Batenhorst gets it started with her 27th ace of the year. That one is her 41st service error of the year, and it is all equal at 1 apiece. Lauren Bays will be the first server for the Huskies. Bays on the season, 22 aces to 33 errors. She floats this one that is only able to be passed back to the other side. The set up and the stab down. A big kill. That's Bush. Imani Bush gets the kill to make it 2-1, give the Huskies their first lead of the contest. That one smashed into the setter for USC. Into Aninga. Could do nothing about it. Bays will float this one into the net for a point USC. So we've seen 2 good serves that have led to points, either an ace or then an overpass and back to a kill. We've also seen 2 service errors. The score is 2-2 as the libero for the Trojans will serve it up. This is Gala Trubant. Trubant sends that one just long right to the feet of the lineswoman over there. 3rd service error for either side makes it 3-2 Huskies. Alexis Howry will step in to be the setter now, as well as the server. Coming the other way to Aninga. Set it short to Leah Ford. Ford sent it wide for a point Huskies. 4-2 now as Howry will serve again. Howry, 19 service errors to 17 aces. That one skips the top of the tape to Aninga. Will keep it up with a dig there, and then a hard stab down and a kill from Adania Fuamina. Point Trojans, and it's 4-3. First serve of the contest now for a defensive specialist in Megan Verbeest. Verbeest serves hard with the right hand. Bays receives. Howry goes up, and a kill goes down. That's Kuhn Fletcher, the senior outside hitter, transfer out of South Carolina in her 112th collegiate appearance. Gets kill number 625 in her collegiate career. The serve goes long, and the serve will go back to the Trojans. That was Barton that sent it long. I mentioned Barton missed the last contest between these two sides. That last contest was a 3-1 decision in favor of the Trojans that was down in Los Angeles. 4-3, Huskies lead. Barton receives that one. Howry will put it up. Just a tip over and into the block. There was 3 Trojans there, but I believe Tuaninga and Ford will get credit for the block. Make it 4-4. Excuse me, actually 5-5 here in set number 1. Serve coming once again. Another bullet that Barton receives. Howry goes up. The attack goes down. And it's the first kill of the night for the senior dog, Maddie Ensley. Now the serve will come. This will be Julia Hunt. What a stellar freshman campaign for her. Rifles it into the net. Point Trojans, 6-6. We're exchanging punches one way and back pretty consistently here in set number 1. And this one on paper is exactly what we're seeing right here. Nobody's going to give the other squad much wiggle room between these two Big Ten longtime foes. That was Ford just skipping the top of the net, and then a hard kill as Haney stabs it down. Point Huskies. Good job by Bays to keep it alive. Howry set it short for her middle. Haney has stepped up as of late with some injuries putting her in, and the sophomore out of Kirkland gets her 23rd kill of the season. Tuaninga up to Batenhorst. Batenhorst, nobody home, as that one was sent by Molly Wilson, who was the closest to it, a potential dig. And we're tied at a touchdown apiece, 7-7. Tuaninga will serve. Tuaninga, dangerous server with 44 aces, but also dangerous in terms of not being able to get the serve down. You see that jump top spin that is so difficult to deal with when you get it, and that's exactly what happened. Tuaninga with the ace. USC has their first lead since 1-0. 91 service errors. That was the 45th ace of the year for Tuaninga. Tuaninga, senior setter out of Long Beach, California. This offense flows through her. And you saw a little bit of Jackal, a little bit of Hyde on that one. The ace and the error, all one and another. Leslie Gabriel, obviously you see there, second season, but man, there's nobody that bleeds more purple than Leslie Gabriel, as that overpass was tried to tip down by Barton. Then Barton deals with it and sends it to the back corner. And a point Huskies puts the Huskies up 9-8 here in set number one. Funny enough, for Leslie Gabriel, mentioned she bleeds purple more than anybody that you can find pretty much anywhere, not just in the volleyball world. She played here, graduated in 2000. As we see the attack coming into the block, and that is Haney as well as Bush on the block. But her mark of 1,146 kills in a career, right now the server in Maddie Ensley is threatening to pass it. If she gets 10 kills today, she will pass up her head coach. Batenhorst receives the serve from Ensley. Back to Batenhorst. Block stays it on the Trojan side. Batenhorst will try again. This time over the block, but an overpass will just send it back to the Trojans. Nearly bungled it. Then Ensley goes diving into the floor to get it. The attack up, swipe down the line to Tuaninga to get it. Batenhorst will have another attack. Ensley, another great dig. Bays puts it up. This is Barton on the attack, can't get it to go. The libero in Trubant will send it across, and then Bays once again keeps it up. A block keeps it up. There's a joust to the net, staying alive for the Huskies. Barton again, off the top of the tape, and it stays alive for USC. Batenhorst off the block, Bays up. Ensley to Barton, both sides exhausted. Tuaninga to Batenhorst to finish it. A resigned celebration from Batenhorst, who had been about the only Trojan that attacked. Meanwhile, on the other side, it was Barton who was absolutely dog and tired. In the end, Batenhorst gets the kill. You see, she barely had enough energy to pump her fist there. Now she has to serve it away. Already has a service error on the day. She just got to get it over the net, and she does. As it's sent to Bush. Bush goes into the block, but it will stay alive. Barton will try from the other side. Off the block and down for the kill. Almost had the pancake, did Trubant, but just beyond her fingernails. Barton, after trying multiple times in that last offensive flurry to get a kill, she finally gets her kill on that one. It's 11-9. UW leads USC. Bays, nice little float serve. Give the ace to Bays. Huge ace there from Lauren Bays. One of the core of the senior squad. They'll all be celebrated on Friday in the final game of the regular season versus Purdue. As that one serves long. 12-10 goes the score. But Bays as the libero, she is an absolute magician at times on that back row. Libero, junior, Trubant will serve it away for USC. She goes just over the top of the tape. Set short, attack hard into Tuaninga. Coming the other way with the left hand attacking there was Peach. Couldn't get enough mustard on it. Then poked over the wall, kept alive. Trubant will put it up to Flamina. Not enough to get the kill as we see more Trojans diving into the hardwood. Coming the other way from the back row, Batenhorst can't get the kill. Good opportunity to get this one to Barton, but it's sent into the block. They'll recycle it. Barton will try again, and another block, but then Bay sends it over off the dig. And all plastered down there by Adania Fuamina. She decided that was enough. UW keeping that one alive, and she just rifled that one at the feet of the back row. And after a long rally, Truman will serve again. 12-11, UW leads. Same record for these two this season. Does a nice job to keep that one alive by the setter in Wilson, but in the end, Trojans capitalize for another point. We're all knotted at a dozen. Back and forth we go between these longtime Pac-12 rivals turned Big Ten rivals. And only their second meeting in their new conference. Bay sends it up, and that one's just not good enough. It'll get out, and another ace for the Trojans as we see Leslie Gabriel call a timeout to two squads that are both trying to put the finishing touches on a regular season that'll see them into the NCAA tournament. Do battle here for their penultimate regular season games. Nice tip over by Bush for the point Huskies, and now we're all knotted at a baker's dozen. New setter into the contest in that freshman. Alexis Howry comes in his fifth season. We have Brad Keller, the head coach of the University of Southern California. 82 wins, 56 losses over his 5 seasons. Previously an assistant coach for that USC men's team. Brad Keller there. A block by the Huskies. That was right in the middle there. I believe that was Julia Hunt that got the finishing blocks on that one. Howry will serve again. Lead to the Huskies. This one heads towards the Trojan bench off not the best reception. Coming the other way now. Howry sends it up into the block, but it stays alive. Finishing touches. Wow! Bay sends it up off the block. Batenhorst with a swing at it. Into the block. Fuamina sends it. It's sent back by Fletcher as well as Hunt. 15-13. UW leads. Howry to serve once more. Into the net. Howry, a phenomenal recruit that Leslie Gabriel grabbed. The 4th-ranked setter in the country coming out of high school. But really, it was all destiny for her, Howry. She's been going to UW camp since she was 11 years old. When the time came for college, it was a no-brainer for the Oregon kid. Off the block there. Big kill by Barton. And now Barton will serve it away. 12 aces, 23 service errors for Barton. And I mentioned, missed that last game versus USC. Back in the lineup, it's such a key part of this Husky offense. That's a bad set there by Fuamina, and it's going to be called a double touch. You've probably heard it 1,000 times if you're watching a lot of volleyball this season, but the rules on doubles have softened this year, but you still cannot double it over the net, and that's what happened there by Tuaninga. Tuaninga this time will get it to her attacker in Fuamina that couldn't get it over. Coming the other way, it's Ensley to try it. Just gets it enough over the wall. Then the quick attack there by Fuamina. Good idea from Tuaninga to get it to her quick, but the attack was wide from Fuamina, the redshirt sophomore, and now it's time for the Trojans to take a timeout. Look at the stats here through the early going, and there's really not much separation between the two sides. University of Washington with an 18-14 lead here, as the hitting percentage fairly in UW's favor with a 278 mark, but aces pretty much the same. Service errors, UW has one more, and really there's not much to go through. Bit of news coming out of the volleyball world this past week, though. The Pro Volleyball Federation had their draft, and a huge congratulations to both Allie Batenhorst, who was drafted by the Omaha Supernovas in the second round, 15th overall in the draft. And the setter for USC, Mia Tuaninga, was drafted by the Atlanta Vibe. Side note, if you go through that league and look through the nicknames for those teams, they got some of the best team names in the country. Batenhorst, for her, it's kind of cool because it'll be a little bit of a homecoming for her. Both her parents, or at least her dad, played basketball at Nebraska Wesleyan. That obviously had the connection to Nebraska there. And then she played 3 years with Nebraska, won a lot of games with the Cornhuskers, played 84 games in a Nebraska uniform. This is her 113th game in her career. She was not just a good basketball or good volleyball player in the state of Texas coming out of high school. She was the best player in the country. She was the 2021 National Gatorade Player of the Year. Insane, the career that Batenhorst has had, and will continue for the Omaha Supernovas. Congrats to her. Back row attack from the aforementioned Batenhorst. Now coming the other way, Ensley goes off the block. Batenhorst will dig it up to Aninga. The block keeps it on the Trojan side. Try again. Flamina. Not enough. Holy smokes. Ensley's going to get an attack out of that. That was brilliant by Howry. And then into the block and down. Once again, it's Hunt and Fletcher to combine for it. I don't know how you even try and get it past those two. Holy smokes. Barton to serve once more as this run continues for the University of Washington. Now up 19-14. They're going to have to send a free ball over. Fletcher will hit the back left corner. And there, after Fletcher had a couple blocks, she shows some precision to get the kill and make it 9. Serving once again is Kirsten Barton. 6-point lead for the University of Washington. Back row by Batenhorst, not enough. Howry sends it to Ensley with the left hand, just tips it off the block for the kill. Point Huskies. Mentioned she is chasing Gabriel right now for 17th on the all-time kill list in UW history, and that's another notch to get her even closer to passing up her coach. Off the block, stays on the USC side. Man, all the momentum's with UW. And then Batenhorst just sent it long. Point Huskies there. Another serve by Barton. This run has now gone to 7 in a row by the University of Washington. And it's going to force a substitution out of USC. Checking into the contest is Tyra Ariel for the first time. She replaces Leah Ford. Barton to serve once again with an 8-point lead in this first set, which has turned into somewhat domination for the University of Washington. Tuaninga's going to do whatever she can to put this team on her back as she just swiped that one over for her 72nd kill. As you see, she just caught UW napping. Ensley knew it immediately as it whistled by her. Have to give the versatile setter and Tuaninga a little bit more credit. Still a 7-point lead here in set number 1 for the University of Washington. Howry goes short off the block. Step kept alive. Now coming the other way, Batenhorst now on the front row, able to attack in a much more dangerous position. This one attacked by Ariel. Not enough. Ensley off the block for the kill. Point Huskies. I got Ensley at 3 kills now on the day. Again, she needs 10 to pass her coach. 10 does not seem like a very big number to hit for somebody like Ensley. Serve goes over. Libero Trubant gets it into the block. Kept alive by the Trojans. Then a two-handed swipe to try and get it over by Ariel. Not enough. Ensley goes over the block. Diving forward to grab it is Verbeest. Kept on the Trojan side. Tuaninga to Batenhorst. Batenhorst sent it long. Point Huskies. Thought that one off the hand. Looked like it was going to find its way in on the back line, but still not enough. As now serving for set point, it'll be number 2, Julia Hunt. highly touted freshman out of Covington, Kentucky, will try to finish it. Rifle looked at the back line, but it hit the Huskies right over the back line. It'll stay on set point, but now USC will get the chance to serve. It'll be Ariel, who subbed in on that big run by UW. She has 13 aces, 20 errors from the service strike. Sends it at the last minute. Barton adjusted. Bays then will have to send it up. Ensley to try and finish it. Goes off the block. Not enough. To Aninga. Up. The stab down. What a kill there from Anyanwu. As Favor Anyanwu gets her first kill of the contest. Freshman out of Rowlett, Texas. Stays at a 7-point lead for the University of Washington. Ariel will serve again. Barton receives. Howry up to Ensley. Gets it down. Point Huskies. Set Huskies. The University of Washington had one error as well. Bays will serve it up to start us up. She serves it to the other libero, and then with the left hand, a kill down there from Madison Peach, who I just mentioned. Not an error on that one. It's a point Trojans with a hard stab from the left hand. Ariel will stay out there to start this set. Looks like maybe she might serve as the other middle for Ford, who had a rough start to this one. Ariel sends it to Barton. Back to Barton off the give and go with Molly Wilson. Left hand once again from Peach, not enough. Swiped over, perfectly placed. It was not power there, it was finesse from Imani Bush, the Canadian junior outside hitter. Just kind of that slap down the line. No Trojan was expecting that, or at least not in the place to go and fight for it. Howry back in to serve and to set. Taninga slaps it to her teammate in Flamina, who looked like she put it maybe off the block. The down ref right on top of it said no. I just assumed it was going to be a USC point. So we'll take a look at the replay there because it was challenged by USC. That look you cannot see for sure. And ability to know how to score the points when you need it that we've seen a couple times from her when they've needed it. Off the block and out. That's a kill by Barton. Barton, who we talked about at the top of this show, did not play in the first matchup between USC and UW. She already has 4 kills, Barton. And now she'll serve it away. She was serving when UW went on that big 8-0 run to essentially grab that first set. 3-2 scoreline here. USC leads a joust at the net. It'll stay on the UW side. Ensley will just have to poke it over after it wasn't the best set from Howry. Back row attack, but Bays makes it look so easy. Then with the left hand, Ensley can't get the kill. Bays sends it up. Ensley will try again off the block, but it's the libero Trubant there to get it. From the back row again, plastered by Batenhorst, who sends it right into the setter, Howry, for UW. Point Trojans and a 4-2 lead for the Trojans. That wingspan of Allie Batenhorst on those back rows attacks, that's when you can really see it. She just rises to meet it. Gosnell will serve it away, but UW right back at it to get the kill. Julia Hunt. With the kill, and now Hunt will serve it away. 28th match played for Julia Hunt. She's appeared in all but one contest this year as that one hits into the net. Point goes to the Trojans. Libero and Trubant will serve it away. 26 aces for her. Barton receives. Howry up to Ensley. Ensley makes it look easy. So often able to find that back corner. As we see a new setter, new server in Molly Wilson stepping up. 79th appearance as a dog for Molly Wilson. Over 1,500 assists, closing in on 1,600 in her collegiate career. Tuaninga sends it up. Batenhorst sends it off the block. Somehow UW kept that alive. And then Barton with the attack. And then the block. No, it went on the UW side of the block. That's Batenhorst going off the block and down. And you can see on that last replay, just the beginning, you can see when with Tuaninga having a couple of those dumps that go for points, as we're going to see Tuaninga serve here. Sends it long. There's an error on the serve by Tuaninga. With Tuaninga having a couple of those successful serve sets that turn into attacks and are dumps, now UW is having to account for that, which means using an extra blocker to kind of stand in that way. Obviously, you would love to just have all your blockers stand in front of the attack, but when Batenhorst is attacking, sometimes it doesn't matter how many blockers you have. Batenhorst with the hammer, point Trojans. Audra Wilmus into the contest. First time I've seen her in this contest, and she is also somebody that missed the last game versus USC. Not on the same page there, I don't think, Barton, with her setter in a sense. It was just a little bit too far on the dig from Kirsten Barton. An ace from Allie Batenhorst. The serve back to Barton. Overpass, dump down, and that is Peach with the kill. Point USC. (9-5) USC lead here. There's a better reception as Wilson goes up. Bush can't get it down successfully. Batenhorst will attack in the back row. Good dig by Wilmus. Then off the block goes Barton. That resulted in a joust after Tuaninga just did what she could with it. The joust at the net goes the way of USC. Won by Adania Fuamina, as you see her just overpower two different Huskies to get the point for the team in the country. And that was in front of a really cool moment, a record-breaking crowd, the biggest crowd to ever watch a University of Washington Huskies home volleyball game. They filled this place out in a big contest versus Nebraska, but the Cornhuskers, man, they're just so good, so deep. This one going to the back right corner, taken by the Huskies. The overpass smashed down, not enough, as it should be Hunt, I believe, that had the last gasp to that one. Gets the kill, and the Dogs are right back in it. It was Hunt that had that one down for a point. UW. Bays to serve, floats it. Again, looking just kind of awkwardly on that back corner. So hard to deal with. Left-handed attack just had to be awkward from Barton. Into the block, point Huskies. Hunt, Bush combined for it to send it right back where it came from. UW, after falling behind 10-5, it's a 3-0 run with Bays at the helm serving it away. Another great serve. This time Trubant gets the dig to it. Block keeps it on the Trojan side. Tuaninga gets it to Peaches. And that is a high off the block and out. Holy smokes. Kirsten Barton must have sent that at 1,000 miles per hour to get that to go all the way back for an out the long way. Bays continues to serve. Into the net. to break up the run. A 4-0 run by UW to make set number 2 anybody's contest once again. When the University of Washington wins set 1, they are 12-2 this season. One of those losses came in their last time out when they beat Penn State in set number 1, but they lost the contest. Bush hammers it down the line. Point Huskies. Howry checks into the contest. She'll replace Molly Wilson for the setting duties. And Bush checks out as well. Howry to serve. Just a 1-point game. Awkward serve to deal with, but a nice job by USC to deal with it. Fomina got the final attack on it. The block is kept alive, but only briefly. And combining for the block there for USC, it's number 1, Fomina, as well as the 6'2 freshman, Anyanwu. Anyanwu out of Rowlett, Texas, 11 kills all the way back in their second game of the season on August 31st versus Pepperdine. Does have a game with 9 blocks. That was against Kansas State. And an ace for number 4 there, Verbeest. Just sent it to an awkward spot where Wilmess couldn't do much more about it. And just try and pop it up in the air and give her teammate a chance. Did not have it. 13-10, USC leads. Wilmess much better on that one. And a hard stab by Julia Hunt to finish it. Kirsten Barton back to the service line. Has 22 kills in one game this year. That was versus Washington State. A great game if you're a Husky fan to get 22 kills. That one must have just gone long. Leslie Gabriel is going to pick up the challenge card. Nope, she's not. She's going to set it down. Oh. And I was not looking at the replay when that was ran. It was certainly close in the back line. I thought it was going to be signaled in to the naked eye, but her team didn't give her enough kind of confidence to go through with the challenge. 14-11 scoreline. Barton receives. Attack goes into the net from Fletcher. Point Trojans. Serve once again coming from Greg Gosnell. She's a grad transfer out of Indiana, former Hoosier. Played 79 games there. Barton lays out for it, gets it to Ensley. Ensley hits it to the back row. To Aninga. Sets it to Batenhorst, and then this tip over by Ensley. Man, she just does it so many different ways to get the kill. You see her just misdirect, essentially, then go off her back foot. Just sees where nobody is and gets the kill. Julia Hunt to serve. Up in the air to Aninga. And down off the block. Point Trojans. Anyanwu gets it there. Another kill for her. She started this contest with 111 kills. That's her second of the match. 16-12 scoreline. Libero Trubant back to serve once again. Gala Trubant serves it away, sends it away long. Point Huskies. Huskies keeping it within just a handful here, within striking distance, but have not been able to overcome that 5-point deficit that they had all the way back at 10-5. Back in to serve here, Molly Wilson. Wilson. She sends it long. Point Trojans. Washington up 1-0. They took set number 1, 25-17. And if it isn't obvious, when you're holding your opponent to a low hitting percentage, you're going to be successful. When UW has held the opponent under 200, they are 15-0 this season. Ensley with the kill. Point Huskies. 7 kills by Ensley today, as she is now within 3 of passing her head coach on the all-time skills list for the University of Washington. Ensley now to serve. Gets it to Truman, to Aninga. Holy smokes, rising to meet that one. Ariel gets the big kill. And a great job by Keller to make the substitution near the end of that first set. It seems that Ariel just has kind of the number today to dial up for USC. Since she stepped into the contest, USC has done much better. Batenhorst serves it away. The attack is hard, but off the block by Haney. Enough for USC to deal with it. Flamina goes off the block and out for a point, USC. USC right now in similar position to where UW was set number 1. Just finding that push there as Allie Batenhorst continue to be a part of it, but that time goes into the net to give a point to UW. Huskies keeping this within just a few here as Hunt checks back in and Bays goes back to serve. UW's best run this set has come with Bays from the service strike. Floats it. Ooh, such a nice spin on that one. Off the block coming the other way. UW has a chance to respond. They won't do it. To Aninga with the dig. And Trubin goes up. Flamina gets it the other way. Bays will go to Barton. Barton can't get it. Good dig by Truman. To Aninga. To the back row attack by Batenhorst. And another kill for USC. 20-15 USC with the lead here. You just see the rifle in there. Closest to it, I believe, was Wilmus. Serve from Ariel. Bays and gets it up. Been a kill by Bush. Bush on the floor, man, she's been efficient when she's been out there. No errors by her, and that's her 5th kill. She'll stay out there to do the serving. Also got to mention that Imani Bush has surpassed 700 kills in her collegiate career, as that one is down the line and on the line. What precision from Imani Bush. That is most commonly used by the tournament squad, as we see a hard kill by Anyanwu there. 21-17 Trojans. RPI is what is most commonly looked at, and right now USC is 21 in RPI, which is a really good spot to be, and UW is 36 in RPI, which is the better side of the bubble. Let's call it that. As that served way long, came funky off the hand of Verbeest. It must have. If UW was to win one of these 2 games this week versus a really good Purdue squad, or obviously a really good USC squad, they would be much closer to what somebody would call a lock into the tournament. Barton will serve into the net. It is 22-18 now, USC with the lead. UW still has a chance to salvage this set. If they can't get at least 6 points before USC gets 3, it'll be all square at 1 set apiece. Headed to the 3rd set. Serve coming from Gray Gosnell. Barton receives. Wilson up. Ensley taps it over. Kind of a cluster of Trojans. Eventually, it'll just be Batenhorst just to slap it over. Barton then, with a windup, goes back corner and gets it down. Huskies, I think this is really their last chance at a run in this set. If they can't get it close here, and USC's just going to have too little points to grab against UW, it'll be hard to really come back in the set if they can't get this one. Hunt to serve. And she sends it long. Point USC. These are two schools that do have a lot of service errors on the season. USC has 334, which is an insane amount, really high, because I remember putting the numbers together for this one and seeing 248 from UW and saying, that's really high. Hit long, asking for a touch. It did not take a touch, according to our ref, at least. Serving for set point, it'll be the libero for USC. Ngala Trubant. Trubant gets the sign to serve away. Sends it long. UW staves off the set loss for at least one more serve. Molly Wilson will serve it away. An error will send us all square and one set apiece to set number 3. She's got to go on at least a 4-point run here. Gets that serve down. Tuaninga to Batenhorst. Batenhorst sent it long. No touch. Point Huskies. That's the luxury of having a little bit of a lead, though, if you're Batenhorst. She kind of uncorked that one as hard as she could and hoped that it took a touch. Wilson to serve again. Right to the back row. It was a little bit dangerous. The attack near side kept alive, then just sent over on a free ball. Another chance for the attack and slapped over by Mia Tuaninga. Point Trojans set. We're all square. It's 0-0 against essentially once again. When UW is tied 1-1, they are 11-3 this season. Bad set there by Tuaninga, or at least a set where she was on a different page with her attacker in Batenhorst. She set it kind of soft there, and all Batenhorst could do was watch it fall to the turf. To the turf? To the ground. Outdoor sports are done. Got to get turf out of my head. Tuaninga up into the air. Batenhorst gets the kill down. Point USC. Batenhorst. Incredible wingspan. Mentioned her dad was a basketball player at Nebraska Wesley, and you can see probably somewhat where she gets that height from. Batenhorst originally from Houston, Texas. Every category on her stats she has a career high in this season. Give and go with Barton, but it's into the block. Ariel and Tuaninga send it back down. Just rocketed that one back at Barton. 2-1 USC with the lead. Once again, serving is the libero in Trubant. She sends it into the net. Point Huskies. Alexis Howry to serve. She steps in. Also into the contest is Kean Fletcher. Nice serve there by Howry, but a good enough dig. Then tapped it over. Kept alive only briefly by University of Washington before it was essentially called down. That pancake was unsuccessful. Nice tap over by Tuaninga. UW right now trying to stave off what happened to them last game, as you see Tuaninga. The high jump serve dealt with by UW. That was a great dig by Barton, and then a swat to the back line to get side out. That is crucial against a great server like Tuaninga, who, if she's serving well, she can go on a heck of a run against you. But dealing with that serve was step number one. Barton did a great job, and then a nice swat to the back corner by Fletcher. 3-3 scoreline here in Seattle. Batenhorst into the block, off the block, point Trojans. Batenhorst to serve now. She is nearing 1,000 kills in her collegiate career. Found a home here at Southern Cal. A serve goes long, point Huskies. Through the first 2 sets with a little bit of change here as well on top of it with a couple points exchanged in this third set. The service errors for both sides have been probably a little more common than they'd like. A total of 22 service errors as that attack from Fomina gets down for a point USC. Tyra Ariel to serve once again. Barton gets the dig. Howry up. Ensley in on the kill. Ariel was almost just steering completely away from that ball. It took the touch anyway. So it would have been Ensley's point one way or another. 5-5 score line. These two sides are never going to give each other too much room. Oh, man. Been a good one already. It's a nice swat down. They keep it alive. Then Bays just has to send it over her head back for a free ball. Coming the other way. Left hand kept alive on the USC side off the block. They'll try another left hand. Bays goes diving for it. Set up by Wilson. The attack by Ensley. Point Huskies. And that was all a little bit earlier in that where UW found a way to keep it alive. And eventually you get it to Ensley with enough precision behind her and she'll finish it. 6-5, University of Washington. Near the net. As that was, I don't know if that was designed as well as that worked out. I thought that was originally looking for Anyanwu near the net, but it went over her head, and then Fomina ended up finishing that. It worked out perfectly to kind of completely throw UW off balance. 6-6. Playing this one off the net, then poking it over. Good job to adjust to that one by the setter, Molly Wilson. Then kept alive. Still here, free ball going over the top. That was just Haney that just did what she could with it. And then a kill down by the Trojans. Almost had the block on it. You see Haney, the frustration on her face. 7-6, USC back in front. Barton puts it up. Bays is the only one that can get to it. A high arcing ball. Bush goes into the block. 3 different Trojans there. And Twininga as well as Anyanwu. And Fomina part of the block party as well. 8-6. USC leads. Serve coming from Verbeest. Barton up. Wilson goes cross court, and then down with the kill is Bush. Imani Bush, another kill for her. Serve coming from Maddie Ensley now. 1 point deficit for the University of Washington, trying to prevent a side out from USC here to tie this contest. Batenhorst receives. Twininga, back row attack by Batenhorst, not enough. Working cross court and able to get a pancake down on a potential kill from Barton. Not a good attack coming the other way. Barton will try again. That one goes off the block. Batenhorst gets something to it, and then a free ball coming over the other way. Holy smokes. Barton will try again. Can't get it that time either, as another free ball will come back. Trojans are just surviving by the skin of their teeth. The attack from this side is blocked by USC. A long rally continues once again. USC almost has it. Barton's going to send it over. Now essentially a free ball for USC. They'll finally get an attack, and they can't get it. Coming the other way, Barton winding into the fence there, and they say that UW was in the net. Yeah, on the follow through, Barton just hit the net there, and you could see that was just probably exhaustion, really, that kind of had her lack some discipline on the follow-through. And right now we're going to see a challenge, and it's going to be something in the midst of all that chaos. This one might take a second to look at. Wow. These two sides, it was a 4-set fixture the last time they played. USC won 3 sets to 1. As now everybody they got to get on the same page of who's serving, everything like that, because they had rotated as if USC had won the point. Now it's kind of a little bit of a revert. Let's step back in time for a moment. And we go back to Maddie Ensley serving. Sends it to Batenhorst. Twinninga. Nice job by Ensley to deal with that attack. This one goes off the block. Good adjustment on the back row by Verbeest. Then a back row attack and a block. That is Haney and Barton to send it back. It wasn't a swift block right back into the ground, but they blocked it into the top of the net, and then Batenhorst was just caught where she was the only one there because they were clearing out the runway for her to launch at that ball. Lead goes to UW 9-8. Nice serve. Batenhorst with a nice dig, though, to get it back. And then it's Flamina to send it down the line for a point. Trojans all knotted at 9 apiece. Audra Wilmus checks back in. Take another look at that one. Oof. All Molly Wilson could do is just watch and hope that that one drifted, but it did not. Gosnell to serve, nearly gets the ace, kept alive by UW, and they clean it up. Batenhorst, savvy veteran move there to finish it after the flurry. USC back with the lead. Gosnell to serve once again out of Charleston, South Carolina. Barton off the block. Good job by Gosnell to dig it up. Coming the other way. That was, I believe, Anyanwu. The block keeps it alive, and it's a block and a point for the Trojans. Anyanwu as well as Twinninga. 11-9 here, set number 1. USC with the lead. Gosnell to serve once again. Barton tries to go off the block, couldn't do it there. Coming the other way, Anyanwu gets it off the block herself. Point Trojans, and it will be time for a timeout from the University of Washington as Gabriel makes her way to the scorer's table to call it. It was a UW lead just a moment ago at 9-8, but 4 straight points by USC send them to the break with a 12-9 at Illinois earlier this year. Another great serve by Gosnell. Barton goes into the block. Trojans come out of the timeout with another point. They are just suffocating Barton on that side. Gosnell to serve once again. Gosnell not only a very good volleyball player, but she also is a really good singer. She was an all-state singer in high school and sang the national anthem before Indiana hosted a women's college basketball tournament game, NCAA tournament game last year. She was the singer of the national anthem. Man, multi-talented for sure. Just sang the right tune to give USC a good lead as Lauren Bays will serve back on the other side. Batenhorst into the block, kept alive by USC, but it's 4 touches. As they, that was, I don't know how often you see that, where it lofts in the air that long, and I just looked down to see, okay, who's going to get it? I didn't realize it was 4 touches. They all knew it was 4 touches, and they just stared at it hopelessly. Nothing you can do at that point as Batenhorst She has control over that one, that's for sure, as she slaps it down. Point USC. Batenhorst with that kill takes the lead on kills for the day. Her 10th. She now has an advantage of 1 over Maddie Ensley. So the two offensive attacking leaders of their team, they're going back and forth as this battle within a battle. Back row attack there from Bush, not enough. Ariel, the attack, and then that one took a touch off the attack from Bush. Good time to time that one up and scrape the fingertips, get the kill. Point Huskies, 14-12, the scoreline. Molly Wilson checks out at setter. Back into the contest to serve is Alexis Howry. Howry, 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Oregon. Overpass, rolls on top of the net, and eventually falls down long enough. Another overpass, and that overpass is scrapped. It was sent just wide. I believe Fletcher got the touch to that one. Probably just trying to do too much after she couldn't get the overpass on the one before. And yeah, it was just wide. Tuaninga to serve the big jump serve with a topspin into the net. Holy smokes. The net almost rips off when she serves it. You see the speed, the velo that she cranks that one in there, but nearing 100 service errors on the season is Tuaninga with that dangerous serve one way or the other. Barton, good serve. Tuaninga up to Batenhorst. Batenhorst slams it down. She's starting to feel it here in set number 3. You could feel her heating up in set number 2. Now she is in kind of full clocked in, locked in mode. Now she serves. Barton keeps it up. Sent the other way. Good job by Tuaninga to keep it alive. Then the libero, in Trubens goes under the net. Fletcher into the block. Point USC. Ariel and Flamina there to block it. 17-13 USC to USC, but the errors are +1 to USC, and the attack errors are +2 to USC. Coming the other way, off of the net. I don't even think that was a block. That was just a clean pop into the net there from Hunt, who couldn't get that one over. No, it was a block. Should be a block. Ariel got a touch to that one. 18-13 off the top of the tape, pancaked alive. Good job there. Now Ensley just trying to do what she can, but it's cleaned up by Flamina. UW out of timeouts right now, looking at a 19-13 deficit. And again, in a situation where they either need to go on a run or they just need to stock up and get ready to batten down the hatches in set 4. Bays receives, gets it up. Fletcher can't get it to go. Tuaninga keeps it alive. Then the attack on the other way isn't good enough. Ensley palms it over. Really, this UW offense is just out of sorts. As this one tapped over, kept alive by Howry. Ensley now will try a pop, and she sends it long. No touch. Point Trojans. Nothing working as of late for the University of Washington on offense, as it's been a bevy of runs. This one continues. It is a 5-0 run with Batenhorst serving. Barton just does enough to keep it alive. Fletcher then sends it up. Bays has to send a free ball over. Tuaninga, the left side, a block. Ensley and Hunt send it back. Much needed for the University of Washington. As you see those two combine for it to stuff Peach. And now Hunt will serve away. Six on the floor for the University of Washington is Haney, as well as Fletcher, Ensley, Howry, Hunt and Barton. And there's an ace. Launching herself into the first row of the crowd. Essentially, there is Trubent, the libero. Glad she's okay after that one. As you see Hunt, fairly quiet since the first set. Hasn't been given a lot of opportunities one way or the other. Just kind of an awkward attack, kind of came off the outside of the hand. And now the other way. Ensley lifted it over. Flamina not good enough on that attack. Ensley with the left hand gets it down the line. Point Huskies. 20-16. Ensley just so crafty. And with that kill, Ensley officially tied with her head coach, Leslie Gabriel. But then when she was playing Leslie Tuiasa Sopo, is an expectation that she gets at least 10 kills per game in a UW uniform. Another great serve by Hunt, as there's a miscommunication on who's going to get to it. And a couple jousts at the net. Ensley will get another crack. She just pokes it over. Then they go to the back row. What a smart play by Flamina, who just said, hey, nobody's playing back there. Let me just poke it there. As you see, the UW defense kind of an all out of sorts. Barton, the closest to it, couldn't get it. 21-16 USC. Ariel to serve. Tyra Ariel. Her 71st game as a Trojan. Good serve. Ensley into the block. Stuffed back by Anyanwu, as well as, I believe that's Peach over there. Yeah, Peach. And Anyanwu send it back to send this place silent. 3 more points needed by USC to take a 2-1 set lead. Barton receives. Howry up. Haney can't get enough on it. Coming the other way. Left hand by Peach. Not enough. Barton down to get it. Ensley hard into the block and into the scorer's table. Point Huskies. Bush checks in, as well as setter Molly Wilson. (22-17) USC leads UW. Dug up, Batenhorst will go to a weird spot there where Bush is all over it. You could tell off the hands of Batenhorst that was just going to be funky. Bush does a good job to make sure that that's a point for UW. So one up into the air. Twininga goes to Flamina, who sends it long. And picking up the challenge card is Brad Kellen. A win versus USC certainly would go a long way as well. Wilson to serve. Batenhorst receives. Twininga into the block. Kill for Peach. Point Trojans. Just like they drew it up out of the timeout. Like clockwork getting the kill. Ensley and Haney on the block attempts there. Verbeeston to serve. 23-19. UW needs a run once again at the end of a set, and that one scuffed off the hands of Barton. Ace for USC. It is their 5th ace of the contest, and now it'll be a service for set point from Megan Verbeest. Barton receives. Up to Ensley, off the block, and it's a successful block. That is Anyanwu, as well as Flamina. Point Trojans, set Trojans. USC takes this third set, 25-19. They'll go for the match when we return for the 4th set. On the all-time career digs list, Nice float there. Batenhorst off the block, point USC. They go right back to Batenhorst, and they feed the beast for her 12th kill of the game. Serving is Trubant, the libero for USC. So up into the air, Wilson will go cross court to Barton, who finds the kill. It goes off a potential dig, and to about the 10th row, the power from Barton when a block is not in front of her. Man, she's been able to clobber it. She's trying to help make the difference in this one, as we see Alexis Howry serve it away. Up into the air. Both sides seem to cut down on service errors. As Fletcher fires it. Good dig. Overpass, tried to dump it, and then it goes out off the dump. That was Hunt. They got the final touches to it, I believe. Point Dogs, 2-1 lead for the Huskies of the University of Washington. Rifled over by Howry. Goes long to Batenhorst. And once again, Allie Batenhorst finds herself with a kill off the block. Kill number 13 for Batenhorst now. She is dialed in. Play from all over the floor, too. We've seen her back row, front row, everywhere in between. Good job to deal with that one by Wilmus in the back row. Sent wide by Barton on the attack. Point Trojans. That jump serve, you see slowing it down a little bit on that one was Tuaninga. Tuaninga leads the team in errors and aces, and also forces overpasses, as you can see right there, cleaned up by USC. Point Trojans, a 4-2 lead for the visitors. Ariel all over it. That was one of the turning points late in the first set. Ariel was subbed in for Ford, and since then, USC has had the upper hand despite losing that first set. Serve goes wide. Point goes to the Huskies. Ensley to serve, Barton, or Ensley in, Barton to serve. 4-3, USC lead. Ooh, almost found that back right corner, but just a little bit long. A service error, the 13th of the day by UW and the 27th of the match by either side. Serve goes to Barton. Now the other way, attack strong from Fletcher, but not enough. Libero will scoop it up. Bays in the back row gets it to Ensley. Ensley into the block and down. 11th block of the day for USC. They're starting to figure out the pieces to the Ensley puzzle. As Batenhorst will get ready to serve it away. Up to 13 kills on the night. Barton, Howry, Ensley with the attack. Tuaninga gets the set to Flamina. Flamina sends it down, 7-3 USC. Batenhorst to serve again. Bays. Howry down the line. Tuaninga didn't get, I don't think, what she wanted to get to that one. Just be a set over. Then Howry will go to Fletcher. Fletcher down the line for, nope, it was out, they say. And we're going to see our first challenge of this fourth set. 1-for-1 on challenges today is head coach of UW, Leslie Gabriel. And they're going to say that this took a touch. I thought it took a touch. Or maybe that it was in, just straight up. We'll see what that kind of pulls out. The one challenge that UW did get correctly was after a long rally that was won, obviously, by USC, as we'll see the look at it here. Here's a quick look at it. It was just in. It was just in. I was looking for it to touch somebody there. It was just clearly on the line. The problem, our linesman had to protect herself as it was flying towards her, and so didn't get the clear look at it, said it was out, and UW gets the successful challenge. Twinning up to Flamina, who gets the kill, and that was an ill-advised, probably stab at it by, I think, Howery maybe? Somebody down the line there was trying to abort mission and ended up still touching it anyway. 8-4 USC lead. Howery up. Ensley, left hand, tried to just poke it over the wall. Then look into the back row. Good job by Bays to keep it alive. Howery to Ensley again. Ensley off the block. Not enough. Batenhorst cleans it. Then the left hand. Peach back line. Just long. Point Huskies. Take a look at it. Ooh, that was close. Obviously, that look at it wasn't down the line on that back line. It was certainly close on the back line. To my naked eye, I thought it might have hit. That one hits the net. Point Huskies, or point Trojans, excuse me. Sorry.
Before Megan Bernista has returned for USC and is assuming duties.
9-5, USC with the lead. Serve coming in from Megan Verbeest. Steps in as a defensive specialist, goes off the top of the tape. Attack from Haney in the middle, not enough. Coming the other way, good job by Haney to be all over the attempted dump. And a good dig by Bays there off the attack from Flamina. Tipped over by Ensley, not enough. Another good dig by Bays. Coming the other way, Bush goes back row, and it is long, no touch. Point goes to USC. 5-10 here in what could be a decisive fourth set. Take a look at it. Yeah, didn't touch a Trojan. Leslie Gabriel, head coach of UW, was asking her team, saying, please, somebody tell me that they touched somebody. But it did not. This one kept alive. Whoa! How was that kept fair? What a good job. Ensley goes back row. Batenhorst deals with it pretty easily. Look to Batenhorst from the back row. Not enough. Good job by Flamina to almost place that in a good spot, and then that hit goes wide. And right now, UW is, you just see how good the defense has been from USC, and it's causing UW to try and work too hard. As you see Bush try to push that one and missed it out. Little pause here as we get a wet spot on the floor. Toweled up. (11-5) scoreline. See, this crowd has been with it all night. They're going to try and do what they can to push the momentum back towards the Dogs. Serve goes long, and who knows, maybe the little joust from the crowd had something to do with it. 15th service error of the night by USC. Ensley to serve. Drifts it to Verbeest. Verbeest then to the libero Trubent. Attack goes over. Good dig by Ensley. Coming the other way. Barton goes off a little bit of a deflection. Tuaninga goes back to, holy smokes, Bays laying out for it. Good job by Trubent to clean it up. Ensley keeps it alive, but it was a dog in the net. Man, that was a good rally. Kind of had an anticlimactic blow of it. Yeah, you just see pretty clearly there. Haney touched the net. 12-6 here. UW has not used a timeout yet. Serve coming from Gosnell. Big run last set with Gosnell serving. Bays digs it up. Wilson then sends it to Bush, who sends it wide. Point Trojans. 13-6 here. UW squad all out of sorts. Really, they have been since near the end of the first set. Had some runs, but not been able to keep it consistently. USC has found a way. Barton the other way into the block, still kept alive. Haney then is the last one to tap it over. The joust there goes wide from Tuaninga as they want to replay for a touch there at the net. Immediately, head coach Brad Keller just confirmed with his team, said, tell me that took a touch. They did, and so he brought out the yellow card to challenge. Take a look at this net cam here. Yeah, it looks pretty clear. It took a touch. A timeout there, or there will be a timeout as soon as the team hits 15, which could be their next point. Wilson keeps it up. Barton can't find the floor, and Batenhorst can. Allie Batenhorst continues to be stellar. Serve coming in from Gosnell. Wilson up to Bush, off the block. USC continues to just absolutely demolish the defensive side of the floor right now. That's a combination of, I believe, Batenhorst and Anyanwu. Anyanwu's been great, man. Had a ton of blocks in this contest. I have her down for 7 now. Barton finds a kill for UW. Also should mention Katie Wessels back into the contest. She's had some injuries that have plagued her down, but the 6'2 sophomore, appearing for her 56th game as a Husky, has 180 blocks in her career. So they're mixing her in for Haney to see if they can get a different look here. And as I say that, she's already checked out. Now it's back Julia Hunt into the contest playing middle. And once again, the craftiness of Allie Batenhorst gets a kill. Point Southern California, 17-7 the scoreline. Trubant serving away. Last second, Barton goes for it. Back to Barton from Wilson, and it goes off the top of the net and rolls down and out of bounds. So technically it goes down as an attack wide. As right now, UW has to climb out of a deep trench that they dug themselves in. Net serve, point Huskies. Serve coming in from Alexis Howery here. 30 assists is her season high. That was all the way back in the opening match against Montana State. A nice overlapping kind of attack there as Ariel came in up front, but right behind her, it was Batenhorst that clobbered the ball down for a point USC. They lead by 11 here in set number 4. Top spin coming. She's going to put as much as she can on this one as it was dug up. Good job there by UW as it was Wilmus that got the reception, and then Fletcher ends up with the kill for Washington. 19-9 score line. UW took that opening set. They took it very convincingly. Barton serves. Good dig. Batenhorst into the block, off the block. Point Trojans. Man, she's just hit the block every which way, and they've had no answer for it. 20-9, USC now up. Batenhorst to serve now. Wow, good job by Horry to keep it alive. But in the end, still, USC just undaunted with some good digs, some good defensive plays. Flamina kills that one off. No, excuse me, that was Ariel that did it right in front of Flamina. 21-9, USC with the lead. An ace by Batenhorst. UW over these last couple sets just have not been able to get side out. Barton down to dig it. Fletcher goes wide. This UW squad that we've seen the past 3 sets has not been the one that we saw in set number 1. Certainly on the other side, USC has not been playing how they did in set 1. Now 2 points away from completing 3 straight set victories after falling behind 1-0. That one's a solo block by Ariel, who you can put her name on this game just as much as anybody else. When she subbed into the contest, that's when it felt like the tides shifted the way of the Trojans. Match point now here as Batenhorst served it away. UW staves it off for one more, at least one more point. And Hunt now will have this contest riding on her back as match point still for USC. Goes to the back row, lifted up in the air. Flamina to end it, and that's exactly what happens. Flamina sends it down. Point Trojans, match to the Trojans. A convincing fourth